Coach, I guess, how is the feeling out there today after back-to-back wins and just riding that momentum into Wednesday?
Yeah, we have an interesting group. Like every time I come back to the team and I'm thinking that we should be, positive vibes, just like flying. The group's always a little bit, interesting how we kind of have these days. So I would say there's a lot of good feelings happening, but then there's a lot of, little conversations here and there, and it's always interesting to see. So just trying to give you a real look at it.
Yeah, some of that kind of hungriness to just like get back out there, especially with the game on Wednesday against LAFC. It's an opportunity to really show what you can do.
Yeah, that's a huge game. And, it's nice that we have put together two really good results, two good performances, still have things that we need to work on in order to be successful against a team like LAFC. But at the same time, um, I think the belief is there. I like how we're evolving. Just the way we managed the game versus Kansas was something that I expect our team to do, making decisions in game that affect the outcome, adjusting, reading, when we're in rhythm, when we're not, momentum of a game and how to manage it in the right way, which scoring goals is a pretty good way to manage it. So
And then as far as kind of injury updates go, uh, has there been any updates ahead of Wednesday, especially with like Cedric Twyker going as long as he did and Rasmus Holm going as long as he did and Chris Durkin being somewhat ready, but
not we didn't have any problems coming out of the game. That's really good news. We still have Durkin and Indy that are questionable. We'd love to have them back. They weren't out with us today, though, unfortunately. So I'm going to answer a question you didn't even ask, but like in a normal week, we play on the weekend, and then we at least have two really hard training sessions in the week. This week, we can't do that. So I expect everybody to be available. And if they have to play Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, as athletes at this level, we should have the ability to do that.
Top Shores. Coach, a friend of mine asked me to ask you about this biker gang you're riding with.
Yes.
A, are they still drunk? B, have they stopped giving you
Shit. Yeah,
Well,
they've
yeah, you
they've
could say that.
they've stopped. They no, in fact, um, yes, they're probably recovered. They had a big group ride yesterday. I unfortunately was doing some work and couldn't join them. But um, despite the fact that we beat Kansas and we won the game, this is Gaspy's fault.
Oh,
The my two closest buddies on the team were waiting for me to come acknowledge them in the supporter section, and Gaspy drug me away to do a live Apple TV segment, and I totally got distracted. So later, I get to my phone and I get this video from these two. And you would think that they would be like, "Hey, you beat Kansas. Congratulations. We're so happy and proud of you." Nope. I mean, I can't express to you how much passionate angst came from this video towards me from these two young men.
so you didn't really get to celebrate the victory at all.
Not in the way that I really wanted to because of Gaspy, but that's Gaspy's fault.
So who's more horrible, Gatsby or these two fellows of yours?
These two fellows are the worst. So
Sorry for doing the job. Tom Timmerman?
Hey there, John.
what's up, Tom? I feel like I'm on a road game because usually I see you in person.
Yeah, well, it's me that's on the road. Let's see how well this works. I'm driving west on I-70 right now to take my dog to have
Don't-
surgery.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
I'll pray for your doggy. All
thank you
right.
very much. Yeah, well, hopefully we get her back and she won't have cancer anymore. So that'll be
All right.
good.
Are you driving?
My daughter is driving.
Oh, thank God, because I'm like, if you're driving and you're looking at where you're looking, like, head up, man, head up, pay attention.
No, we're good. We're good.
All right.
Hey, what did it mean getting Joakim back even for just 10 minutes on Saturday? And how's he look?
Really, I thought he looked great. Um, this was one of those decisions that this is more about the future than it was getting Joakim in a game and in that moment specifically. But we've seen Joakim, train hard for the last couple weeks. I have told you guys that I wanted to be cautious out of just a straight concern for his health and well-being. I didn't want to put him in a position where he could potentially, get hurt again. But he's super confident, and he gave me a lot of confidence that I could put him in a tough game in a tough moment, and that he could not only do the job, but show that he's healthy and ready to go. And that's just such a huge blessing for all of us. So I hope we can continue doing that.
Have you figured out anything about West Coast trips and the best way to come back from them and staying over or coming back right after the game?
Yeah, we're
Can
gonna
you hear that?
try. Yeah, I could a little. Yes, I think we're gonna apply some general sport science principles to how we do some of this travel, and we think that'll give us the ability to maybe be, that fraction bit better than we have been.
And any thought with getting Ben Lunt a game in here during this stretch?
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to because Ben deserves it. Like, Ben's a really good goalkeeper, and feel like we've given him games that didn't really highlight his ability. But I've been with Ben for a long time, so I know him really well as a person and as a athlete, and he's good. He's really good. So, but he's playing behind Roman. So that's just a conversation and an opportunity if we make that decision. But yes, I would love to do that.
Next we'll go to Matt Rocchio.
If I guess one more, just to Keel Watson's play with Durkin being out, you had some options there and you went with the Keel. And why did you go with the Keel? And what have you seen?
Because Akil's a baller. Like, that kid is a baller, and he is somebody again who I've worked with for an awful long time, and I know that when I need something from a player and I ask him to do a very specific job, he's a player I can trust 100% to do that, and he's amazing in that way. So happy that he has put together two really good performances. And I think it speaks a lot about him as a person and as an athlete, that he's ready for those moments when called upon.
Go ahead, Matt.
John.
Coach, LAFC's kind of hit a little bit of a patch here since the restart. They've only gotten one win, three losses and 2 draws. Just what have you guys seen from LAFC over this past stretch as you look at the film, and what are the parts of the game that you need to take advantage of to kind of continue giving them a rough time?
I mean, you have to take away their ability to be effective in the counterattack. That's the most important piece. We're going to have a really, relative kind of comparison. Sporting played them last Wednesday. I thought Sporting did a really good job and put them in they put themselves in a position to be successful in that game, and hopefully we can do the same thing, steal a little bit of their tactics against them. But it's not rocket science. You have to defend a team that's extremely dangerous on the counterattack, and so our ability to repress when we lose the ball is going to be at a premium. I think our ability to try to be a team that can still dictate moments of the game with the ball, and be mindful of giving up too many opportunities where we're throwing too many numbers forward. We're going to have to make some adjustments in that regard. But I don't think you can look at LAFC and not think they're the most dangerous team on the counter. And certainly they have the individuals and the quality, and that's part of what they're really good at.
Next we'll go to John Lupo.
John, you mentioned, excuse me, you mentioned that after the win against Kansas, that you challenged the players with tactical ideas and stuff like that, but you're pleased with the mentality that they've shown. Do you feel like the back-to-back wins you've had, especially in a derby, now playing LAFC and then playing Houston afterwards. Do you feel like this could also not just finish the season well, set the tone for next year, considering how pleased you've been with the performances and with the mentality that the team has shown?
You just put the words right in my own mouth because I can't put it any better. We believe that we've continued to, play better and try to be a team that learns every game, every training session. Nothing says that more than having good performances and good results, especially in consecutive matches. But we have that chance again in a really difficult week, playing 3 worthy opponents. And now it's just up to us to go on the road and meet all the physical and mental challenges. But it's a massive thing with mentality. And this group right now, I really enjoy their mentality because they're getting it. They're a joy to work with. They're a joy to push in the right ways. They complain a lot too. I'm not going to lie to you. But they're asking questions of the coaching staff that are tough too. That's a little bit of, you show them a video in the morning and they want to have a big discussion about it. And I'm like, no, I'm the coach. All right. Like I get to tell you what you're doing. And these guys, they like to push back a little bit, but it makes it really fun for us to work together. And we get to a place where we understand exactly what we're talking about. So hopefully, John, we can do that again on Wednesday and on Saturday in our final home match.
Go back to Tom Shores.
Heck, talk a little bit about Kyle Hebert and what he means to the team.
Kyle is he's just such a good leader with his actions and his own mentality. There's nobody that's tougher and has that warrior mentality than Kyle. I've leaned very heavily on him in many different positions across the back line. He's been extremely consistent. I can't say enough about him because he's so important to what we do on and off the field. But it's definitely through his own actions and his own character.
We'll go back to Matt Rocchio.
Coach Hack, one of the things you talked about on Saturday was you guys started a little bit too conservative, how that's not your game. How do you avoid kind of stepping into that same issue against LAFC on Wednesday? And I guess kind of how do you balance staying aggressive against a team that does kind of take advantage of aggressiveness with their counterattack?
Yeah, we need to make sure that we have our numbers in transition prepared to go from attacking to defending. And we call that rest defense. We also talk about just defending in advance. Like, the center backs need to be organizing. They need to make sure that we have our numbers right and be thinking about, if we lose the ball in this situation, do we ourselves already give ourselves that numerical advantage? And that is going to be a big task for us on the night on Wednesday, because we're a team right now that can play. And when we play and we get it going, it's fun to watch, but we're going to have a lot of guys tuned in to what happens when we lose it, or what happens when we make a mistake, or the referee makes a decision that goes against us. A lot of little details that we can continue to get better at. And we'll have to against an LAFC team that is really, dialed in their organization about how they play and about how they get at other teams.
Anyone else? Hack, thank you for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Justin.
Joakim, to get back on the pitch on Saturday after 2 months away in a derby match, can you talk a little about just what that meant to be back on the field again?
No, when we start talking about, I talked with Hack about maybe might get some minutes. 2 days before the game, I was really excited. Obviously, derby, big game, and it meant a lot for everyone. So I was just so excited to be part of the roster once again, and to get 10+ minutes.
And then for you over the last 2 months, how are you feeling now to be back in the mix and be fighting for minutes again?
Yeah, exactly. This is where I want to be, out on the field and maybe not here, but no, it's been a long journey, a lot of setbacks during this process with my hamstring. It's been tough, obviously, but you know, I've been working hard to get back out to City Park to play these games, and once again, you remind yourself of how much you love football, soccer, playing in front of your fans.
Shores?
What have you learned about St. Louis since you've lived here? You've been here now 2 years.
2 years, roughly, yeah.
What have you learned about living in St. Louis, especially compared to life in Sweden for you?
Like, oh, good question. I would say first of all, the people in the city. I mean, how helpful everybody, like in the club, outside, how friendly, how helpful they are. You're a little bit more outgoing than our like a general Swedish guy, I would say. So that's the first thing. Then July, August, very hot. I prefer Swedish summer those months, to be honest. But we love it here. My family, we really love it here, and also like the culture, the soccer culture we got here already. Now it's fantastic. So yeah.
Would, not to put you on any spot, but would it ever occur to you, yeah, this is a place that I could raise a family?
100%. Like I said, my family, we love it here. I mean, before coming here, there was a lot of question marks. You didn't know what to expect, but like I said, once we came here, everybody in the club was so helpful, welcoming, and it was easy to get into the whole city, the whole society, and so we love it. Yeah.
So you could stick around, have kids, become a kids coach, help raise the next generation?
Maybe. My son he started playing. What was it? Early this spring. So maybe I'll coach him in the future. I don't know.
Thanks.
Next we go to John Lupo.
Joakim, Hack was talking about challenging the players and just having the right mentality. I know you're just coming back from your injury, but talk about what you've seen being inside the locker room the last 2 matches that have allowed the players to be in that right mentality and be in that right space, and also playing teams like LAFC and Houston coming up, carrying that over, especially since those are important games for those teams. You guys can sort of get up and just play those important matches and continue down the path you've been the last 2 matches.
Yeah, I see a hungry group of guys in there. Everybody wants to play, and then that drives us forward. You know, like you said, it's a tough game coming up now, but we go there and we want to take those 3 points. I mean, we want to finish strong, and for ourselves, but also for the fans and the city. We have our own objective the last couple of games now, and like I said, we want to finish strong. And now it's a big week, also 3 games, and we just started it with 3 points, so we want to finish strong.
Next we go to Tom Timmerman.
Hey, Joakim. So yeah, what's the next step for you? You got it. You got your 10 minutes in. So where do you go now?
You have to ask Hack. He's the one deciding who's gonna play or not. But no, like he said before, I am confident. They are confident. We're all confident now that obviously we've been a little bit cautious because of the setbacks, but now I feel better than before. So that's I'm ready to get minutes. I want to play. I always say that I want to get as many minutes as possible. And I think those first 10, 15 minutes was good for me to get back. To get that confidence also. But like I said, now I just want to finish strong and play as many minutes as possible.
So, do you think you can go 45 minutes?
I feel confident to go 45 if that's the case, yes.
Yeah. And what's this? What about your teeth?
My teeth.
Yeah. So
Yeah. That's actually, I have to thank Reinhard for that. We discussed it after my first setback in Seattle, like, because in Germany there's a big thing that a lot of research saying that there's a connection between the wisdom teeth and the oral health actually, and to the nerve system. So I had them removed, and it's been very good since I had them removed. I had a little bit issue with one of them during that time when I got my first setback. So I don't want to jinx it or anything, but it feels a lot better right now. So I have to thank Reinhard for that.
So how many teeth did you have removed?
All 4 wisdom teeth.
All 4 of them? And
Yeah.
what month would that have been? Or
Uh, that must have been a month ago, maybe.
did that seem strange? Like that you getting your wisdom teeth out could help your hamstrings?
Yeah, but then I also started. I was a little bit like skeptic when he said that, but then I started reading about it, and I also talked to a lot of German. My brother, who was also my agent, who works with the agency in Germany, he asked me, "Why haven't you told me this before?" But I had no idea. He told me a story that when he had Ralf Rangnick as a coach in Hoffenheim, he had all of the players to remove them. So that's a funny story. I had no idea about this, but yeah, I did this with hope that it will help. I was looking for answers, and we will see. It's been feeling well after the surgery. So yeah,
Thank you, Joakim. Welcome back.
thank you.
So,
You're kind of in a unique position because you were out, but you have played. Compare and contrast, if you would. Competition in the MLS and in particular the last league you played in Europe, but in Europe in general, where do you put the MLS play that you've observed and played in terms of, well, the last league you played in?
Oh, it's always hard to compare leagues. I mean, like I said before coming here, I didn't really know a lot about the league MLS. Obviously, you see that it's growing, but you saw, like my first year here last year, you saw how competitive it is, and how much like our fans, they love the game, and that's the same thing I experienced in Germany, and like the fans here are amazing. So all credit to all of the soccer fans around St. Louis and all around the US, but in particular here. Like I said, you see big names coming here also, so it's growing. So it's fun to be a part of it.
So you would compare it favorably to your experience in Germany?
Like I said, it's hard to describe. You know, I played big games in Germany, but I played big games here also, and the competitiveness is the same. It's every week, every weekend. It's tough games, and everyone can beat anyone. Yeah, it's a tough league to play in.
Joakim, thank you for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.